I welcome you all to our Certified DevOps Engineer live free training program. This is our roadmap, and according to it, we have completed successfully our day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. And today we are going to start day 5, which is dedicated to CI/CD pipeline. For those of you tuning in later, don't forget to mark your calendar for our next free live training session. And we have also changed our training registration process. Instead of QR code, there is a direct link in the description or comment section right below the title of this video once it is uploaded. Like this, just click on the link to get started. I would also like to acknowledge, thank you very much for your kind support and love which we are receiving that inspired us to continue providing this valuable training opportunity. And these are our social media link. We would love to connect with you. So in today's session, what we will cover. So today we will cover, of course, CI/CD, but I have divided this entire session into 3 parts. So in first part, it's essential, where we will be seeing almost more than 10 demos. Okay, where we'll learn all the basics things. Second part is all on the advanced. In this section, we will be setting up together how in the production environment in real life, how you set up a pipeline as a DevOps engineer in real world. So that's what I will show you in this section. And of course, there is a project we will be doing. So let's, without further wasting of time, let's start with our part 1, which is essential. And in this, we are going to learn all these things. So we will start with, of course, what is CI/CD, which is the best, and then we will see what is pipeline, then scripted versus declarative. Then we are going to write our own pipeline, okay, and which is also called as a Jenkins file, pipeline structure. Then we'll see the parallel stages, environment variable, tools, conditional pipeline, parameterized build, user input, and post-build action. So this is not just a theory. We are going to see all this in action. Okay, so let's start with first thing. What is CI/CD pipeline? We know we have already spoke in our day 2 part in very detail what is this, but let's quickly see actually what CI/CD means in the automation context. Okay, so let's see what is CI/CD. So we know when developers commit the code to remote repository, and based on the webhook or other means, Jenkins does a job, right? So it pulls the code from the remote repository, and then it starts building process or building stage, and after building stage it performs the test stage, and after performing the testing it creates or it generates the reports, and that reports will be shared with the respective team. This is what typically happen initially, or I could say it can be also possible like this. I can pull the code, I can build, and then after I perform the testing, and based on the testing I can notify the concerned team or concerned people like this. And if test cases are successful, then I go ahead and deploy my application in staging environment or development environment. So for example, I'm taking example of staging environment where we deployed, and after deployment we run more test cases on that. So those cases can be user acceptance testing, integration testing, and other as well. And once this testing is done, right, so we ask for the approval. This stage can be optional. So this is approval in Jenkins pipeline. You can set up approval process, and the concerned person will be notified based on this once approved. After that, Jenkins go ahead and deploy the code into the production environment, and after that we set up the monitoring that is also in continuously. Once everything is done, then we inform or we perform a notification where we inform the team, okay, the deployment has been done successfully, or it is failed, or whatever you have. Okay, and we can also set notification on this stage where when we have UAT, because in staging environment when you are performing the testing, it is also possible people want to know what happened in the staging environment. So staging environment is very identical to the what you have in your production live environment. So that is your staging environment. So you can also set up notification over there. You can also set notification after the deployment. Okay, so it completely depends on your use case to use case. In my experience, I have done this like this before. So this is the typically many of the places, but I have set up this pipeline where I have to perform this thing. So based on that experience I have taken, or I have just prepared this process or this small animation. But anyways, let's go ahead. And in this, if I divide this entire pipeline, we know it is a pipeline, right? So this part, this left side of the part is your CI part. Okay, so when you have interview and when somebody asks you, don't just say it's CI, it means it's a continuous integration and stop over there. Instead, you could say, okay, continuous integration is a process or is a part of a pipeline where we perform building, testing, and creating a report, and which is in continuous manner. Okay, so this is the mode from the development work or development task, which is your continuous integration. And this right side part, or I would say the second part, is your continuous deployment. You could simply say after CI part, we deploy the code to the staging environment and we run more test cases, right? And after test cases, we deploy. If test is passed or we don't have any approval process, we trust our pipeline, right? So automatically we deploy into production. So you could say the CD, it means like this. Okay, so that's how you explain. If and anyways, you will come across in interview question. So instead of just saying CI, it means continuous integration, CD is continuous deployment. Explain what happened in this. Okay, and at the end you could say that's how this CI/CD built together, right? And we know this is our pipeline, right? And that is our next topic, CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so let's go ahead and see this. So when we installed Jenkins, we saw this on this page. Well, first time we had two options: new item or create a job, right? And based on that, we already discussed in the day 4 part 1. Okay, we can create a freestyle job or we can create a declarative pipeline, right? So there we have two options. Here we define our build steps over here, and here we find our pipeline script like this. Okay, but our focus in this session is on the CI/CD pipeline. So this is one of the way you can write the pipeline, which is a declarative way. You have also another way you can write a pipeline, and this is called your scripted. Okay, scripted pipeline. Of course, both are in Groovy, but they are more on Groovy. They follow the Groovy based syntax. Okay, so if you know the Java, you will very easily understand the Groovy, but it doesn't mean in order to write a pipeline you need to learn Groovy or Java. Okay, and that's what realized by the Jenkins community, and they came up with the version 2, which is pipeline, which is more simpler to start with. But in my preference, what I use, I like this more robust, more because it has more options or more powerful things you can do by this. Okay, but it is a bit difficult to start with, so that's why it is better. Not better, but I would say yes, of course, I would say it's better to start with this declarative way. And of course, once you know everything, right, then everything it means, once you start writing the pipeline, then you go more deeper into this. Okay, in one of my in one of my projects, I use both. So I wrote a pipeline, and inside that I call the Groovy scripted my code. So that is really helpful, which I could not have been done in only if I follow only this one, right? So we will see this what these are. So let's go ahead and understand the basic structure of the pipeline. So whenever you write a pipeline, you're always your pipeline start with this one pipeline. This is your opening basis, and you this is your closing basis. That means your pipeline start from here and ends over here. Within these two brackets, you write everything. Okay, so first one is pipeline start, and which defines the start of your pipeline. Then we have agent any. So agent specifies that the pipeline can run on any available agent. So here I have mentioned any, but if you remember in our day 4 part 2, we discussed in very details how agents, right? How we can set up agents. So here in this case, depending on your use case, this agent can be any of this or whatever you have, your setup is supported or you have already done a setup for. So agent is actually where your pipeline is getting executed. Okay, so this is your agent block. So first thing is pipeline, second thing is agent any, or I would say simply where you define the agent. And after that you have stages. Please keep in mind this is plural, it is stages. Okay, so first block is the pipeline, then you defined agent, then you defined stages, and inside the stages it contains all the stages of your entire automation, entire pipeline, or entire the work you want to perform automatically. Okay, so this goes over here. So very simple, first is pipeline, second is agent, third is stages, and after that inside that stages block we define stage. And here you could see I just put as a name because whatever you like you can give a name, but it's a very useful when you give it as some useful name. So it could be like I mentioned already over here, so it could be your build stage, test stage, or deploy stage. And inside stage you have steps where the actual work is going on. So for example, if you want to build something, for example ambient, let's say you want to check a Maven version, or you want to check where my pipeline is getting executed, so you want to execute a shell command, so you can write in steps sh block, and inside that you can write your shell command, or inside that if you want to execute any Maven related command, or like build or something, if it is a build step, it is a test, so you write what is your test case, right? And if it is deployed, so in the steps we define what we want to do in this particular stage. Very simple, right? So first you have pipeline, second you have agent, right? We will come on that, but for the time being any is okay. Then we have stages, third thing, then fourth we have stage, then fifth we have steps, and you are done with the pipeline. So that is your pipeline as a code. So isn't it very easy, very simple, right? So don't be afraid of thinking, okay, it's a pipeline, oh god, I have to write so many lines of code. No, it's not. I will show you and you will be agree with me. Okay, only you need to remember these 5 things. First block is pipeline. This is called your opening braces or flower bracket, you could say, right? And then you have to close this. Second is agent any, third is stages, and inside stages we define stage, and inside stage we perform the task we have to. So this is pretty simple, the pipeline syntax. And in my experience, to get started you only need to know this many things. Okay, so once again, the pipeline is defined, the start of your pipeline. Second is agent, where you define where your pipeline should be getting executed. Then you perform, you need, or you have a stages block, stages. Okay, then fourth block is your stage, and then fifth block is your steps. Only 5 things you have to keep in your mind, and you will be pro with the pipeline. Okay, that's it on the basic structure of the Jenkins pipeline, and that's how you need to know. And now we are ready and go ahead to write our own pipeline. So in order to write a pipeline, what you need to know, so it means what you need. So you need one plugin, right? And that plugin is a pipeline plugin. So when you go on your dashboard here, on right here, then you go to manage Jenkins, and after that click on the plugin, and in plugin section you can find this under available plugin. You type the pipeline and you could see the plugin like this, and after that you have to install, and automatically it will also downloaded the other plugins as well. So you could also see pipeline groovy libraries, stages step, and so many other plugins are automatic, additional plugins I would say, automatically selected or get installed by once you select this plugin. So at the moment you need only one plugin. I'm not saying you have to select all these plugins. Once you select, this will be automatically get selected for you, and you are good, or I would say you are very good for the writing the pipeline scripts. Okay, so I think that's enough. Let's see this in action, and for that we will hop back to Jenkins controller. Yes, not master. We learned this in our previous section, not section, day 4. Okay, so let's go over there. All right, so I'm at my Jenkins controller machine. I will log in. These are 3. These are my password, very simple. And this is my dashboard, right? And if till last session we have seen, we created this one. This is my personal. Personal is meant do not touch, so that's why I give it a name. So nobody is going to touch this, but I know. So the plugins which I was talking about, I quickly show you how you could do that. So let me zoom it a little bit. Dashboard, then manage Jenkins, and in manage Jenkins we have the option plugins. When we click on this, then right after over here you have to, let me make bigger this as one pipeline, and you see it not giving me any of the details, right? Because I have selected updates. But for you have to click on this available plugin, and then you have to type over here pipeline, and you are done with that. In my case I already installed it, so let me show you pipeline, and it's right over here, this one. And how you can install, you have to install by of course it will show you somewhere over here. So this is how I done. I will again go back on the dashboard. Okay, so now let's create very first our job. I will click on this, and once you install, you can the plugin, then you can see all these options. Okay, if you haven't installed any of the plugin, then you will be able to see only freestyle job. So let's go ahead and create a job. So I would say demo 1, and I select this one, say okay, and here is the pipeline. Okay, and you could see here there are options. I could directly click on the pipeline. I can also scroll back down, but these are very handy, right? Directly click on this and you will come on this screen. Here we have option pipeline script, right? So here I simply take direct this example, and either I can run this, and I can also do like this just to show you. I can also edit this one. So here if you see, so by default it is already selected pipeline agent any stages, and stage is the welcome, and in steps we are saying echo hello world, or I could also type the message which I showed you. Basically is this basically it's the same. It really doesn't make any sense. You can type whatever. I just wanted to show you. So DevSecOps. Okay, so welcome to DevSecOps Club, and here I have an option. We know when we apply, then it is saved, right? And when we click on the save button here, then we go back to the previously the page we were there, and now I can build my job. Okay, these options are available over here, and as soon as I run the build, I have this option success. I mean, of course, this pipeline does nothing. It's very simple, straightforward. It has nothing. It will simply gives us this message, right? So it started by this user, and note it says like this, Jenkins running on Jenkins, right? So it is running on controller server, and welcome to DevSecOps Club. Okay, anyways. Okay, fine. So that the thing is here, the job is successfully finished, right? So let's go back, and so this is what I have written. This one is called your, here. This one is your declarative way. Okay, so it's very simpler. So, or I would say the second generation of writing a pipeline or automation before the scripted one. But those, as I said, those were really hard to get started with. So Jenkins community came up with the version 2, and which is this one. Okay, so I just put this, it means I have commented this out, so Jenkins will not interpret this. Another script, the another way of executing the same thing. Okay, so there, and which is a scripted pipeline. Okay, so where you write node. Okay, and you could see it's automatically added this block as well. So inside node block I have an option stage, so I can type stage, then I can type like this, or instead I would say, or yeah, why not. So I will copy this over here and put it over here, and I really don't need this starts block at all. So if you see, let's correct this spell as well, but it's okay. So I have to write only 1, 2, 3, 4, or only this much amount of line. So it's very simple. I just said no node. It means simply this pipeline is going to, or simply I'm saying the, okay, this is the code. So inside node block you write everything. Okay, so let's save this, and this time I will do like this. So it's saved back, and let's build this. And now we can see the output, and it says welcome to DevSecOps Club, right? So this is our demo number 1, where we have created two kind of pipelines which are very easy, nothing fancy in there. Okay, which basically does nothing, right? So just to show you how you can write the pipeline. Second thing I would like to show you, so there is another way to create this pipeline. So at the beginning I showed you the Jenkins job triggered and HCM stage was there, right? So let's see how that is going to be created. So for that I will go over here, and let me do one thing, create another job. Let me give it a name, and why not demo 2, and I select again the pipeline, and I click on this. So before we were writing our code in this section or in this script block. Okay, if you need help you can click on this and you can read about it more. Okay, or another way is to create your pipeline using a script from the SCM. Okay, so SCM, it means source control management, and for that I'm gonna use my this repository which is available over here. I will also put this in the link in the description, or once it is this will be public. So here I have to select the option git. So we can only see the option git because we have installed before only git plugin, that's why. Then in this section it is asking for the repository URL. I have just copy paste because it's a public, since it's a public repository I don't need to provide any credentials. And after that I will come over here and I say apply save, and I will do the build, and let's see what happened with the build. So yes, if you see here it says failed, it is not red. So it says okay, let's see the error. What is the error? So I know actually guys what is this error, but I'm simulating these things, what kind of errors when we first time start. So I try to simulate all the possibilities of the where we could make a mistake initially. Okay, so here it says could not find remote reference. Okay, and so let's see, when you have this error, then what you need to do, it means it is not able to find the master branch. Okay, so for that, what you have to do, you need to go to the configuration again. And so far we have only done make something in the pipeline, right? So what I need to do, I have to go to, I can select the pipeline, and in this section where the pipeline is script from SC, right? So here this up to here it's completely fine, but in this section, if you take a more closer look of this, branch specifier blank for any. So either when you click on this git, so automatically it is selected by this configuration. So either you can leave it blank, or so for me I'm leaving it blank. Okay, or maybe let's say I have a branch main, so on blank there is no fun by leaving it blank. You can try it your own. So I've given a branch, and which is a main, and after that there are some other options as well. We will see that we are coming on that later. So I will apply and save. You can also directly click on the save. Then I will build it, and again it is going to give us something more error. Yes, job number 2 is failed. So let's see what happened. So here you could see error, unable to find Jenkins file from this is the thing. So here new term is Jenkins file. It is not saying the pipeline code is not there. It is looking for a Jenkins file. Okay, so simply writing a pipeline or pipeline as a code or Jenkins file, or in short it's a pipeline, everything is the same. Okay, but by convention Jenkins is looking for Jenkins file. When we learn Docker, you will also see Docker is also looking for a Docker file, right? So because it's created and because it's a convention, and you can give any of the name, right? But by default we did not specify anything. That's why Jenkins is looking for the Jenkins file, which is not available on our remote repository. So simply I copy this name, and if I go ahead and let me first create a branch, or why not, let's keep this over here. Sorry. Oh. Okay, my bad. Instead of creating a file, I created a branch. So let me go back and delete the branch first. And so for that I have option over here, and it's refresh the page. The branch is gone. So I think it's not good idea to directly mess up with the main one. So I will create a branch test one. Why not? Yeah, and let's say from the main I've created this. Okay, and here in that I have option add a file. I will create a new file, and here I will copy paste the name Jenkins file, and I commit. So create Jenkins file, it's an initial commit, it's nothing in there, right? And go ahead with that. But again I will not encounter, I don't want to run into the same situation or same issue. I will go on this, and here instead of main I will type test1. So test1 is the branch name we have just given. So apply, save, and now this time see, yes. So these are the two possible errors when we start this happen. Okay, so I explain you in build number 1. We know this is called build, right? Build number 1, build number 2, and finally build number 3 succeeded, where the Jenkins found the Jenkins file. So now if we see the console log again, console output. So now the name has changed, console output, not console log anymore. So but icon is still the same. I mean, of course, it's a better or it's a more intuitive now than the before, but simple. You can click on this, you can see the logs or output of the console, and here it says opt-in Jenkins file from this GitHub repository. Right, so this is another way, and but of course this job is also does nothing, because if you see, let me move this over here. So when you see in this, so I do not have written anything over here. So what I can do, I can go back to my demo one. Here we go. And from the configuration, I can copy this, my pipeline, which I had created before, right? Or I could simply do one thing and paste it here in the configuration, right? And if you see now, the options which I had before is not anymore over here, right? So what I can do, I have to go on this and I have to edit this. I will edit this over here, and let me remove this one. Jenkins agent any, instead of stage welcome, let's say it's something, let's say build, why not build stage. Okay, and in build stage we can say, of course, welcome to DevSecOps, or what's our name, DSOC3 web app. Okay, so let's keep like this, DSOC3 web app building. Okay, so this is the one. So we have let me make a little bit zoom so you could see pipeline, agent any, stages, stage. So again, those are the 5 things we discussed initially, so we don't need to worry about. So pipeline, okay, pipeline code over here, stages any, then stages, and then stage in a, we are going to do build. Okay, very first thing we will do is a build. And sorry about this, it's not hash, it's a 3, and hash is hashtag CDE, right? So it says welcome to the SOC3 web. Oh god, my not web app, I mean app, it's a web app. Or maybe let's go ahead like this, web dash app. Okay, however, whatever. So welcome to the SOC3 web app is our message. I mean, whatever you like, you don't need to write this message, whatever you like, just do it. Okay, so this is a building, and okay, so now I'm gonna commit this and I will say update, or instead of I would say update, yeah, it's okay, build stage. So we remember what we have done in this. So now I'm saving it, and this time if I come back over here, so we know we cannot make any changes over here, right? So what I can do, I simply go back, not the configuration, and again now I will build it, and now we will see what happens. So when we have successful, right? And if you see over here, so we already talked about this, but here the important thing which you will be encountering when you have to, or when you are building, right, a pipeline, so you will need to know where you can see what. So last time we have updated commit message, right, and we have updated in this one test1 branch, and test1 is our configured branch, right? And here you say update build stage in Jenkinsfile. Okay, first time build, skipping change log. Okay, and welcome to DSOC3, and that's the same thing we have done over here, right? So this is another way you can create a pipeline. Okay, and additionally, if you are doing the testing, right, so let me go in that. So again and again you have to change a code over here, and then you have to commit, and you have to come back to the Jenkins and click on build, which is really cumbersome task, right? We also don't want to do that, commit again and again and again, right? Because we are doing the testing. So for that we have another option, let me show you. And but before that I would like to show you one more thing. When you click on this option, this arrow, down arrow, right, or however you want to say, and here there is an option pipeline overview. Okay, when you click on this you can see this checkout SCM, right? So the same thing, and build, and then so this is start and end. This is just the start of your pipeline and end of your pipeline, but these are your stages. Let me make a little bit more zoom out. So these are your stages: checkout, SCM, build. Okay, but these are just a point to start or end. So if you don't find this thing, okay, just say start and end, it means nothing happened with your pipeline. Okay, and if you see over here, I have just created one stage which is build. Let me make a zoom of it as well. Stage build, and this name is very similar to this build. Okay, so whatever you will write in this, you will be able to see over here. But how we get this? Check out SCM, right? So it's a SCM, source code management, or source control management, whatever. In short, it's SCM is enough. When you say SCM, people understand what SCM means. Okay, so let's this one, and this is the way you can see. Additionally, I would like to tell you one more thing over here, stages. So in 1 2 the I won the 3, right? So if I come back, you can see 1 and 2 were the failed. Though this job was passed, still I did not have anything in this stage, right? Because in 1 and 2 there was an error, and in third we did not have the, we just Jenkins just obtained or found the Jenkins file, but the file was empty. Okay, nothing was executed. That's why there was nothing in between. Okay, then we did, even though it didn't check out. Of course, it did check out. That's why we were able to see, but it didn't create anything. And then we added the stage. Then something happened in there, and then Jenkins uh, start executing, Jenkins started to execute the pipeline and automatically check out the code. You can click on this, right? What happened in this particular stage, you can also check from over here. You can see complete thing, but for us at the end, line number 17, if you come over here, so update build stage, that's what we done in there. And of course, it's just a build stage which really doesn't do anything except echoing the message of this. So we will make it more complex, but step by step. Okay, so that's how you check the logs of what happened in particular stage itself. Okay, so this is one thing. Okay, so another thing, yeah, I was referring, or I was talking about. So every time you have to go on this, and you have to edit and do the commit, yeah, which is not a good idea. So what you can do here, there is an option. When you click on this, there is an option replay. Remember, this option is over here, replay. If you go in configuration, you don't see anywhere you can edit the Jenkins file. But if you come back on, you can also, like you are reading a logs, you have option replay, and boom, here you have option, right? So let's say instead of welcome to DSOC app building, I could say like this, building DSOC 3 web app. That's it. More, just to show you what happened when you edit from over here. So yes, in stage we can see it happened successfully. I can click over here, I can see what happened. So building DSOC 3 web app, it is happening, right? So I can simply, now I really don't need to go back. I can also click over here and do the replay, and now this is what we have seen. So from here itself, instead of, because still my pipeline code is in testing phase, I'm doing the testing, I'm creating very first time the pipeline, right? So I really don't want to do again and again and go back and create commit for each and everything, right? It really doesn't make sense. If you want, you could do it, but for me, my understanding, it says it's a more, it's not more productive, what I think, because you are testing. Now, so far what we have seen, it's a single stage, right? We didn't, you could say, yeah, there are two stages, but here, let me make it duplicate. Let me log in. So these are the straps. Okay, we are not into this stages. So you could say, yeah, we have two stages by seeing this. Okay, but actually we didn't define this. This is automatically created, and I think I did not show you how it happened. So I quickly show you this as well before I go ahead and show you other things. So in pipeline, right, when we provide this SCM details, okay, so automatically Git provided, Git created this checkout SCM stage for us. Okay, so that's what happened before. And yeah, but we have to, so this is for us, we created only one stage. So now let's look into the multi-stage pipeline. So what I can do, I can copy this, and before that, let me make it like this: end of stage. Okay, and now I can simply copy, because I told you in stages, right? All the stages, simple stage goes into the stages block. Okay, so I can simply type this, and after build I could say test, and here I can say testing, right? And here I can say test, end of stage test. And then you could see here there are some lines of code is over here, right? When you start doing creating a pipeline, this file is going to be bigger and bigger, and you have more number of lines. So instead, what I will do, instead of, I will copy this and switch back to editor, right? So in my case, I'm using Visual Studio Code, which is online available. You can also download and use it. And so let's say first time when you open this site, you can click on new. Okay, select text. I'm pasting it over here, and here you could see automatically it has selected Groovy, selected language mode, right? And all syntax are getting highlighted over here, right? So I really do not have to go in this block, and you can see, if you are comfortable, go ahead and do that. I like this way, so I'm doing this way, right? So what I will do, let me first close this as well. And this, always make a good practice of this whenever you are creating a pipeline. So it has again changed, see? So if you want to manually change this, type Groovy, again it will highlight the syntax. Okay, so as you know, I always focus on the best practices. Again, it's up to you. You will realize why I'm telling you when you mess up with this thing. So always, whenever you have this block, just put whatever comment you like to. So I like to use end of and pipeline, and done. And here I could say end of. So this two line, it means, sorry, here the two lines, it means I'm just commenting out. So when we execute, Jenkins will ignore this. Okay, so it's just the comments. So end of, and this block belongs to stages, right? And after that, stage, and this one is end of stage. Okay, that's we have done. Now, sorry, not stage, straps, but I think that's okay, which is inside the stage block. Let me make it a little bit zoomer. Why not? Right, so now this was we have done so far. So what I will do, I simply copy this. One more thing I would like to do over here, because when we have stage build, okay, so let me copy from over here, so up to end of stage build. Okay, I have copied only this much part, pay attention. Okay, I just copy and go over here and paste it. Right, now I'm gonna say test, and this is also test, and instead I will say testing, right? And here also I have to change the name of the test. And after that, if I go and end of, let's say deploy, right? And third step is also deploy, and I could say deploying the SOC 3 web app. So basically it's a three, or I would say multi-stage pipeline. Okay, I know it is not doing anything, but as I promised you, we will go step by step and to create our pipeline from very scratch to the more complex level. Okay, so don't worry, just hang in there, stay or follow along with me. This pipeline, I will put all these codes to this GitHub repository once later on, right? So if you want, you can use in the future. So this is how we have written the multi-stage pipeline. So now we have stage build, stage test. Okay, so this is our stage build. Okay, this is our stage test, and this is end of stage test. Here our stage deploys is get started, right? Now I will copy this and go back over here and simply paste. I say run. Let's see what happened. Simple, it has performed building the SOC 3 web app, right? And of course we did not make any changes in the commit, so commit is still the same, but it's saying building the SOC 3 web app, testing app, and deploying the web app, right? And we can also click on this part, pipeline overview, and you can see the checkout as seen build, right? It's a default provided by the Jenkins, thanks to Jenkins. And we have build, test, and deploy, right? And if I click on this, so I can simply see the same message. I mean, of course it's nothing, but I'm making you enable how you go ahead and see what is happening inside the where you have to check what. Okay, when any error is there, okay, on particular stage, it will be looking for like this. Okay, build, so it will be kind of a red error or red. Okay, so this is the one thing. One moment. So this is how this multi-stage pipeline looks like. Okay, and if you are interested, there is option console, so it will land you over here. But if you, so let me go back again 1 second. So I was on this and this right part. Okay, if you want to rebuild, click on this, and if you want to see console, so this will land you over here. Additionally, if you want to see a classic console, right, and I bet you will be needed sometime, so directly click on this and you can come back over here. So that's how we create a multi-stage pipeline, right? Next thing on this, I would like to show you one more thing, and which is post block. It means simply sometimes you okay, let me show you what post block it means. So like after executing your end pipeline, what you want to do always. Okay, so that is what happened in, or that is what you define in the post block. So post block can be written like this. Always remember, it would be inside your end of the pipeline. That's why I have written this, so I know, because now it's just 25 lines. We are going to make it more complex, and let's see what happens. So post block, so simply type post, or first I will say post block, so I can always refer back later on. So I will type post, opening braces, closing braces, and here there are several things can be possible, but there are I would like to mention over here. So you have always block, right? Then you have success block, then you have failure block, FAILU. Okay, so what always will do, so always will be executed regardless of whatever result of your pipeline. Okay, whatever you mention on this one, okay, this will execute this block always. Okay, so let's say you want to notify it, or there are some kind of action, like once you have this, so whether it is failed or passed, you have to trigger something else, or you have to notify somebody, or you have to do something else, right? So you can always, or that is a use case where you whatever, regardless of the pipeline outcome. Okay, you want to perform next task, right? So you can do this in always block. Similarly, when your pipeline is success, then you want to celebrate. Okay, some teams want to know, okay, whether the pipeline gets succeeded or not. So you notified here the notification message, and you can send the message to the Slack channel or Teams channel or email or whatever. And some teams are really more interested in your case of failure. Okay, so for example, always team, the support team, okay, they always needs to know, so they can inform the customer, okay, there are some maintenance activities going on, that's why this is the problem. And in success, okay, maybe some people wants to know whether it is success, or let's say our development team, okay, if they want to know, okay, whether it's a success or not, or failure. In case of failure, they also want to know whether this is the what happened with the pipeline, right? Additionally, so okay, I will show you another way. You can also define post block for stage level as well, but let's first see what this happened. So let me first type this. There is a message echo, this runs always, or maybe I can type this like this, always. Okay, and copy this as is over here. So this runs on success, and copy this runs on fail. Right, this is failed. And now let's copy this and put this entire thing in our same. So yes, I'm not committing it, so I can simply control A. So why I'm not committing you, I mean not you, the code, I will show you. There would be one, we will reach to one point where this option is not sufficient. Okay, so we have to switch back and commit our pipeline code into the repository. So just pay attention and wait for that moment to become. So I click on this, and now you can see we have this number 7 and nothing happened. So let's see what happened in number 7, and it's got failed. It says success, right? So S, okay, so there is a typo. If you see SUCESS, it must be SUCCES, not but capital. Okay, and let me also check for other spell always, and the failure FAILUR. Okay, and now we will be rerunning it again, replay it again. So see, because the job has failed, that's why you are not able to rerun it again. And so, but job 8, I know job 8 was passed, so I can go to the browser and change the number over here. Oh, what? 7. Okay. I'm sorry. It was a 6, so I didn't remember at all. So no, I can go over here, replay, and in replay I remove and I put. You could see the post block we have updated, and let's run this. And now let's see. So one more stage is, of course, it's a stage, right? Because but this is a post block, because of course it is also part of the entire work. Okay, and let's see what happened in this. So this runs always, and this runs on success. So yes, congratulations, our post block is working completely fine. Additionally, you can also execute, so like when I showed you very starting, okay, how you can notify the people, right? So whether you can perform the testing only for the specific testing, or maybe deployment in production or something like that. So this post blog is very helpful, right? And we can set up this post blog based on the pipeline stage level as well. Okay, so let me quickly show you end of post blog, and now I copy this entire post blog. So let's say after building. Building doesn't make any sense. I mean, in our, I mean, of course, depending on the requirement, but let me say we want to perform the this post block for this particular stage. Okay, and that stage is testing. So what I can do over here inside, so in this stage I'm talking about this. Okay, so here what you need to do, always remember this post block will go right after these steps. And let me make it a little bit proper format, so we will not mess up with this. Okay, end of post block with steps after the steps. Okay, this is our post block, and so this runs always. And just to know what happened, so where is our test stage? Yeah, stage test. I just copy it, I put it over here, so we know this block has run. So let me quickly check, no error. And if I go to the pipeline stages, okay, all good. So always remember, I mean, of course, if you are doing using this, so it will show you the red. If you make any mistake, this block will show you in red color, right? So let me play this, and now see. So of course nothing, right? But if you click on this test, so here you could see there is no additional post action is showing, right? Because it is a part of this stage test, right? And when I click on this, so you can see testing DSOC web app, this runs always and this runs on success, and that's what we have updated in our code, right? This runs always. If we come over here, so stage test, and so our pipeline is succeeded. Okay, pipeline is success, so that's why it's showing these two messages. Okay, so that's how you use the post block if you want to notify, okay, in for particular stage. That's how you do it in this one. So on this demo, I think that's enough, and let's go ahead and see the environment variable, how we use environment variable in Jenkins pipeline. All right, so let's see environment variable. So first of all, what is environment variable? So we already discussed in our Linux part, I think 2, but anyways, in Linux day 1. So in Jenkins, the variables are key value pairs, and that can be very useful. Like if you have something, if you want to use some credential temporary, so you can use variables. If you have some system settings, you can put in that. If you want these variables stored some data, that is really helpful. So environment variables are key value pairs in Jenkins that holds some data and that can be used during the execution. So let's see in action what is this. So for that, here, let me come over here and where, so right after the agent end. Okay, so there are, we can define environment variable in different way. So this is the way which I'm explaining right now. It's a global way, right? So whatever we'll define over here can be used in our entire pipeline. So let's do it. So for that, I have to use environment block. So first I will write it over here. It's an environment block, env, or I would say environment definition, or however you like to. Let's stick with the block, that will be better. So here I need to type environment, and again the braces. Then I simply let's say environment underscore var 1 was true, I could say, so this is the key, the first left side of the this equal to sign. This one is the key, and now we have to provide some value. So as I said, it could be anything, so we are just testing it. So let's give it a fake name, environment variable one value, right? Similarly, I can have more environment variables, so I can quickly edit this, like variable 2, environment variable so 3, and similarly over here. So this is how we define the environment. We'll go and see in our part 2 when we go and actually create an advanced pipeline. Okay, so here we are just learning how we can define and how we can use the environment variable. So here what we have done, we have defined the environment variable, and we have defined 3 environment variable: env underscore var1. Env var1 is the value, so this one is the key, and this one is the value of this environment variable. So let's say now I want to call or use this environment variable in my pipeline. So how I would use this? So I would simply, let's say we have 3 environment variable, and we can call them any of them because the scope of the environment variable is global. So we can call or we can use the holding value of this environment variable across all the stages, or I would say across the pipeline. So let me first go over here and I type echo, and inside that I could say value of, and let me copy this. So value of environment variable 1 is like this. So you have to use this and this one, and this will be our output. But here I will have to just give the key, not the answer. I mean, of course. So echo value of env underscore var1 is, this is the value. Okay, so you see I have used $sign over here, then this process, and inside the process I just give the name of the variable, nothing else. Okay, let me remove this, otherwise our pipeline will be failed, throw us some error. This is in, and I called environment one variable inside the build stage. Next, here in this I simply just replace this very quickly, and then I will show you the output of this. It's then come to deploy stage, and inside that I could also say var 3 and value 3 is over here. So all set, all good, everything is fine. Let's copy this our code and go back to the Jenkins, and here on demo 2 I can copy paste, or let's say it's a demo 3, right? Instead of going this demo 1, demo 2, and I will create a new item and I will call it as a demo 3, so you can follow along easily what I have done. And I can simply, another way, I can simply, instead of doing all the configuration again, you could see here there is an option, copy from. So whatever job, so I just put it over here. So I have to just select the job name. So Jenkins will replicate all the configuration in this. So I really do not have to reconfigure everything. So let me do like this, and you could see every information has come over here. But there is one thing, and that thing, let's see, we cannot replay it. At least once we have to build it. Okay, so that is gonna be done, and after that, yes, so welcome was the initial our message. If you see, this is, we didn't make any of the changes, so no worries. Now it's a demo 3. Inside demo 3 we will replay and we will see the environment variable. So I replay, I mean not replay, run, and now we will see in stages what happened. So everything is over here. I have we have called the environment variable in every stage. So this is var1, it says the environment1 env var1 value, right? That's what we have defined in our environment value. And similarly, if I see the test stage, then it says run, sorry, not this one, value of environment2, it's right over here. And similarly, if I go over here, and you could see the value over here and the post action. Yeah, so this is the one way of environment variable calling. Another way, so here if you could see, I directly call inside the steps. So sometimes it is required you have some blocks, right, shell block, where you want to use this environment variable. So right now this is just in the pipeline we are using this, right? So for that, what we can do, let me first make it, sorry, a little bit easier to read. What I can do, let me remove the post block from over here. So end of the post block. I hope it won't break anything. Okay, so we are good with this. And environment variable 1 2 3, and this time I will put like this something. So for that, very simple thing, what I have to do, simple sh. So I'm calling, or I now Jenkins will know, okay, I'm going to execute shell related or shell command. So yeah, so echo, and why not simply copy this from over here. So let's copy entire string, entire line. So echo, let's remove value of environment variable 1 is this one, and let me remove this as well. And now let's see what happened. First we will check whether this is going to work or not. If it is going to work, then we will replicate this for rest of the pipeline. So I will simply click over here, click reply, and here we go. So simply, instead of going over there, I will say stretch pipeline, or so we have made changes in our build. So I can see, and here you can see when the variable, right, this is statement executed inside the pipeline. Okay, so this is like this because it's in Groovy syntax, right? The variable substitution value, and here let me zoom it, and here it says shell script. So you could see plus and simple, it says echo value of env1 var is this one, and value of env var1 is, so of course this was the command. Okay, so let's do it for more. I mean, more it means for other stages. So I will simply copy, it's working, and this time I'm not gonna execute this, I'm commenting this out, and I will put it over here. So of course it's a 2, and it's also 2, and similarly I will disable, or I'm commenting out, so this will not execute during the pipeline execution. And this is the 3, this is variable 3, and this is value of variable 3, and we are done. So let's copy this and go back. Let me rerun this again. I missed if I have some kind of shortcut keys where I can directly go to the and replay. I don't know, or I didn't explore actually. So let's see what happened over here. Simple click over here, and I could go and see the console output. So instead of executing or getting echo statement, we can see testing, or like this one. This was in our stage testing. This is deploying and run. So, or if you want to see better visual representation, click on this pipeline overview and click on this, then click on build. You can see here is the statement executed, the value of this. So we got the correct command, not the command, the variable substitution. Okay, so very simple. Remember, when you use this in outside of the, this is shell block. Okay, So use in double quotes, and in this we just use the value like this in single quote. So that's it on this one. Next, let's see what we have. Okay, so this is one of the way by which we can use the environment variable, and these are not limited to this. There are more other ways as well we will use, but let's see what are the environment variables available for us. So for that, if I go on the Jenkins portal, so let me remove this stuff out. Okay, so this is my Jenkins URL, right, or whatever is your IP address, port 8080, and then type env dash wars dot html. So here you could see all this, the environment variable. The following variables are available to shell and batch builds. Okay, so we can call this. So it's, we already saw it is not just for the shell, we can also call them inside these stages. Okay, so we have branch name, change id, and what else? So change fork, tag date, job, display name. Okay, and here we have build number, build id, and what will you use or when these are very useful. So when we see this um, next, the docker, I mean day 6, the docker containerization, then I will let you know why these are very um, important. Build, why do you need to know build number, okay, job name, and all these things. So when we create a, especially when you are creating a docker image, so instead of providing tags again and again, you just use inbuilt tags. Okay, and these are unique. So that we will talk in later. And you can also say this workspace. So this is the way you can see what are the plugins, not plugins, what are the variables available for you. And additionally, when you install more plugins, this list of the available variables will be increased. Okay, so based on the plugins, it shows you the variables, available variables. So at the moment we have only this much, and this is the one way to see the variables. There is another way, and another way is to inside the pipeline. So ultimately the variables are not just to see, we need to know how we can use those in a pipeline. So for that, in the same one, I will, okay, I'll go over here, and here let me get rid of it. I don't need this environment variable anymore, right? So let me remove this one, and let me remove this as well. Or we could do another thing, but yeah, that's better to, otherwise this file will, now it says 43 line, and when we end it will be too much. So instead of that, let me remove this as well. We don't need anymore. Remove. There are other shortcut ways as well, but that's fine if we go by this way. Okay, so our pipeline looks good, and okay, let me do one thing. Let me undo it, and so I can later provide you via GitHub repository when I upload this. So I copy this and take a backup some my other screen. 1 second. Okay, and this is our demo. What was the number? Forgot. The demo 3 of 1. Okay, so now we are going to edit this file again. Let me come on. We don't need this. I have taken a backup. Okay, we also have in Jenkins. That's fine. Still, it's good to have backup. Let me quickly remove this block as well. Okay. Okay, faster, I believe. Okay, success failure, and our pipeline is like this. Little bit a pipeline agent environment block, but we don't need environment block because we are not going to define it. Now we are going to use the environment variable which is already available in the Jenkins, which are really useful. Okay, so let me first check whether this pipeline is working or not. Otherwise, we will end up in fixing the things. On my view, it's working, but still no harm if we see what is happening, right? So that's okay, it's working, and that's fine. So this is our pipeline. Now I'm going to do one thing, and here let me quickly say environment variable or env var stage. Okay, so I'm going to create another stage just to print the environment variable. I'll do like this, here. So I will say this as a print environment variable. This is my stage name, and here what I will do, I will simply type sh and I will say print env, and we are done with that. So let me also update the comment so I will not mess up with the things. So what we have done, simple in entire thing, only we have added this stage. Okay, this is going to print all the environments variable which are available at the moment. So instead of building, I would say listing all the DSOC3 or not DSOC3 Jenkins variables. Okay, Jenkins available. Yeah, we understood what we want. Okay, and yeah, this is our DSOC web app. So like this, let me copy. Finger crossed this is gonna be work or not work. If not, then we will troubleshoot it. Go over here and boom, we got a new stage. This is over here, right over here, right? This is print, and before we did not have this. Let's click on this print environment variable, and we have put this statement over here, sh print env, which is the shell based or the in step. So what I can do, I click on this and let me make it bigger, and you can see the Jenkins home is there, git previous successful CI, and build URL home, right, and workspace login and all these things which we could see. So it also says build ID number 6, and here we could confirm this is our build ID. So it has executed, and now we can see what are the available variables we have. So that's how we can list and we can check, and after that, once we check this, then we can use this in our as we know or as we need. So this is one of the way to see the environment variable. Now next we will see how actually we will be using this in a pipeline. So far we have seen how we can use this environment variable, the list, not the use. Now we will see how we can use this environment variable inside the actual pipeline, and that is going to be our demo 3, right? So demo 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and see that. All right, so now we will see how we use this listed variables inside the pipeline. Okay, so for that, very simple, what I can do. So first let me select, okay, instead of let me select, let's see this build step, right? So here I can define. So now I do not have to define any variable because these variables are already in there. Okay, so let's see first how we use this variable. So echo, and I can say, let me take it from over here. Let's say git branch, and what I will do, I will simply, and we need to do in double quotes, git branch and its value, and I'll put like this. Okay, and I think git is build, or let's say Jenkins home. We know what is Jenkins home, so let's see. We put it over here, and I just copy paste this, so I can directly use this from here. So this is Jenkins, or maybe just put it like this, in this way, like this. So you can define this variable in any stage. Okay, so it is really not necessary. Okay, let's do one thing. To environment variable, I'm calling in this stage. Okay, rest not last. So rest I will call over here in stage, sorry, steps. And let me copy this more, and to, but you got the point, right? So here I have called git branch Jenkins home, and let's see the workspace. Why not? So because we are going to use it anyway, so this is the workspace. I'll call it over here. Okay, and what else I can call? Build number, I think we have already done. No, Jenkins home. Okay, so here we will call control F, build underscore, sorry, build underscore, so build underscore ID and number both. So let's first see ID, and here we go, and build, or let's say build is done, and job name, because I'm showing you this because we are going to use this. Okay, and these are really helpful when you have to provide tags to the Docker images while you are creating and testing, so you don't need to provide each and everything again and again. So simply you can say build number is unique, and job name, right? Or maybe whatever you want, you can see over here. So I think it's enough. Let me fix this, otherwise Jenkins will slap us. Simple, like this, workspace, build number, and we are good to it. Let me copy this, and let me also remove the post block from here as well. I don't know, recall it again. Sure, yeah, that's why I commented, so I know from where I'm starting and from where the block has. And let me copy, and let's see if we are lucky enough, we will get a chance to do troubleshooting. Oh no, we are not lucky, but okay. So here, this was the environment, printing environment variable stage, right? And we can see like this. And in build, we defined the Jenkins home, right? And the git branch. So git branch is over here. Let me make a little bit zoom. So origin test, where the same output we get over here. We know the Jenkins home. So when we install, we talk about this. I had shown you how and where is the Jenkins home is var lib Jenkins. Okay, and if I go to the test stage, and in test stage also I have workspace over here. I can also see over here as well, printed message, build number, build ID is 7, and job name is step 3, and the same thing is showing over here, right? And similarly, of course, there is nothing inside the deployment, and that's how we use the entire available variables inside the pipeline. Okay, so I've showed you how you can use this very simple process, right? So go ahead and use this, and we are not done with. I'm just showing you the basic stuff. We will actually using it when we create a Docker image. These are really helpful, and we also, but yeah, we will use in. We are coming on this shortly to use this. Okay, so and in real life we already talked where you can use it. So for example, to define environment, so maybe here in here, so after agent, if it's an environment variable, and here you can see the environment equals to production, and sorry, environment equals to production, and here you could say the database URL, and here you can define the URL. Okay, let's say JDBC and blah blah blah. And this environment variable you can use depending on your use case to use case. Okay, in same environment variable you can also define AWS. Let's say the ID equals to like this, then you have AWS underscore secret equals to whatever your secret, right? So but for that you define the credentials. Okay, and so for that you don't do it directly like this. Okay, instead you have something here, and inside that you have to put, and here you say sorry, credentials. Okay, and inside that you could say the AWS ID, and similarly you could also use in this credentials AWS secret. Okay, and this credentials, okay, credentials, yeah, correct. So you need there is a plugin, okay, credentials and credentials binding. Okay, after that you can use it. There are so many other ways as well. You can also define in environment variable the branch name. Okay, you can also say the run the test or something like that, some kind of flag, right? So when you have some use case where you want to define, so let's say in one of my project I use this. So let's say initial value of flag is 0. Okay, or maybe let's say true, depending on the logic you're gonna run. I forgot what I use this for, but I know I remember I use this in one of my project. So you can use this environment variable over there. Additionally, in also you could have a notification stage where you can also define the variables to let's say build number was this one, and this was your commit ID, and this was the current build, the result of this, and you can uh, perform the notification. Okay, all right. So there are so many ways you can use environment variable. These are really handy, especially when you are deploying the application or creating CI/CD pipelines in your Kubernetes environment, where you have the deployment files available and you have to deploy it several times. So maybe you are using templates, right? We will talk about this more in details. I don't want to make you bore further. So this is on the environment part. Okay, so yeah, that's how we use the environment variable. So this was the part of demo number 3. Next, we will see the parallel stages. Okay, so parallel stages, it means when you have a use case, right? So parallel stages can be useful to optimize your pipeline. Okay, so for example, you are building code for front end, back end, or before that you have to pull out code from several places. So in parallel, what you can do, so maybe let's say, let me just copy this, and why not copy like this. So or maybe I don't need this, so I can edit this instead of removing. So let's say this is your one of the front end, right? So it's your front end code or front end stage code, right? And another stage you have let me just copy this, why not? Maybe backend. Okay, so it's my backend CDE code. I forgot to type. See, right? And just remove this one and this one. So here, let's say you are pulling the code from one of your Git repository. Okay, so what you can do, you can perform this two front-end back-end cloning from in parallel block. So you can do the things parallelly, and then it will speed up. So I don't know, I just give you one of the use case or kind of use case where you can use it. So let me remove this and show you in action how you can use this first of all, and we'll talk more about it. So I'm gonna remove this. I don't need this, so my pipeline will not go and looks very messy and easy to manage as well, and you can also see easily the output. Okay, let's leave it as it, so we know when, again, if we are lucky, we will get some failure, so we will be able to see this. So what I can do simply, again, first I will check whether this pipeline is working or not. Otherwise, we will run again in luckiest moment. So quickly see, yeah, that's completely fine. It's working, no harm at all. So for this very simple thing, what you need to do, you need to inside this stage, right? So we have stages. So always remember, we are going to add another stage, and that is called, let me do like this, parallel stage, right? Or yeah, parallel stage. Okay, I'm gonna add one more stage over here. I will write the same name inside that. So what I will do, I'm simply copying this. So I already copied the comment, so I'm not gonna do that again. Stage, and my this stage is going to call like this, build parallel. Okay, so this is parallel stage, and inside that, so once, okay, let's remove this. I don't need this at the moment, and here is my end of parallel stage, right? So I have added one again, a block, right? So which is stage parallel inside stages. Okay, remember, always it will also go inside the stages block. Okay, so that's what we have done, and I have defined a name stage, and my this stage is parallel, and now it won't do anything in order to Jenkins understand, okay, because it's simply a stage name. So we have to specifically tell Jenkins, okay, now do afterwards whatever I'm telling you to do in parallel. Okay, so here we need to define a block again, parallel, right, like this, and it's simply a block, and inside this we have to define the things which we want to perform, right? So in my case, what I'm gonna do, let's say we want to do build and test stage together. Okay, so now I know this is end of the stage, so I don't need to check it again. Simply I will do like this, and inside my parallel block I just copy this. Okay, so let me see what I have done over here. Let me format this so we can read it better. This one, and I would like to also mention this. Let me copy this, and this is end of parallel block, just to make sure what is happening where. Okay, so inside this, what I have done, I simply copy this stage build and paste it over here. Yeah, I, instead of doing step by step, I copy both these stages, and let's see, now we got a lucky moment. And now let's copy this, and we'll see what is going to happen for this one. So I simply go demo 3, and here the stages, and I was here. Okay. So click on this and replay. So I will replay, copy this, and if I come over here, so what happened? Nothing. Stage number 9. Right. So we ask it to execute this in parallel, but it didn't do anything for us. So why? Again, let's check our code, and if I refresh this over here, so build number 9 has been executed successfully, but we didn't get the output, desired output, what we want. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so what I will do, I will go over here and see my code where I have done mistakes. So now it's our lucky moment. I'm gonna check it, and let's do it together. What is wrong? Okay, so let's first replay this again and we see. So if we go over here, yeah, okay, so it didn't get refreshed, so everything is okay. Like if you see now, if I run, okay. Anyways, but we okay, my bad, there is a mistake. So here you could see the stages, and what I have done, I just click on this, and the view which we are seeing on another screen, which is like this. Okay, so yes, our code is fine. There is no again, we are not lucky, we didn't get a chance to troubleshoot, but yeah, it's a Jenkins delay. And yeah, so now instead of having the trouble, instead of seeing like build and test, we see the build and test are getting executed in parallel over here. So for this, what you need to do, simple, wherever or whatever stage, it is really not required you have to define it on the very top. Wherever you want, just do it, put it, and you can use the parallel block. Okay, and for that you need to create one stage, and this is our parallel stage start, and you need a parallel block, right, which is right over here and inside this stage. So by defining this, let me a little bit give you more insight about this because it's important and we are going to use it, and you will also going to use it, right? So this one here, what I have done, instead of two stage, I have given a name parallel stage. Okay, and you can see this name is as a parallel stage, and inside that we have two more stages which we are executing in parallel, right? So the whatever name you would like to give it like this, and this name will be reflect over here. Okay, and inside that I just put the two separate stages into one. So that's how Jenkins can identify using this parallel word and block. Okay, whatever you are going to return, everything is going to execute in the same. Another use case, maybe you have to execute some of the commands on Linux system, some of the commands on Windows system. So here you can say sh, here you can execute a pat, and both are different, and they both values of that script is going to use in different following different stages. So you can execute those in parallel. I cannot tell you when use case will come, you will definitely understand. So most of the time, this is one of the use case. You can also use it to optimize your pipeline. Okay, so that is use of the parallel stage. Okay, so this is our, let me see what I have make a note of is, this is our demo number 3 of 3. Okay, let me copy paste it. Now we will see the tools. Okay, how we can use the tools. Okay, so tools is again, okay, one of the way where you again when you have a different requirement. So for example, you are using latest version of Jenkins, and when you are building, of course there is no correlation in using a Jenkins and building an app. So if you're building an app requires different version, right, and different kind of tools, let's say the Java, Maven, npm or Node or whatever, you need a tools. Okay, and how we use tools in Jenkins. So in the pipeline, I mean, so here in agent, okay, right below the agent, you can define block tools. So again, let me make it like this, tools block. So I know whatever or what is happening or what is the start. It's my convention. I used to with this, and whatever you like, however you like, you can also put this one. Okay, but these are very useful when you have to remove or you don't need to debug the code. Okay, so let's say in our we are going to build a Java based application. So I need a Maven, and I can say Maven, Maven, right, Maven, right, simple. And what happened, the same thing here, I have defined the tool. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I will copy this and go back over here and replay this. This is our demo 4, right? So let's go ahead and create, why not, demo 4, demo 4, right? And which is, let's copy this from demo 3. Yeah, we get copied, but again we need to run once and then we can replay it, right? So now I'm gonna replay it again. Okay, I will remove this and put all the codes over here. So simple, but in this we have put only a block, tools block. Okay, and here it's the end of. Let's do it later. First run this, and so whatever version you want to use, so I will show you more how you can define, but let's first see with the what happened with the when we define these tools over here. Okay, so right now we are not using it anywhere. I just put it, and let's see what happened. Okay, click on this. Yay, our lucky moment has come. It says console output, and what it says, the error. Let me make it bigger, and it says like this: reply and workflow script 6 tool type Maven does not have any install of Maven configured. Did you mean DSOC 3? Okay, so why it's giving me this line number 6 and all these things? Okay, I will show you very quickly. So it means in your case, when you execute this, so you will get something else, whatever, let's say Maven or similar kind of. So it could also say Maven is not configured or something like similar error. Okay, so what you need to do in this case, in this kind of error, you have to go over here, manage Jenkins, and here is the part tool. Remember this one, tools, okay, which is under system configuration. So when you click on this and we go over here, not this top one, and here we have option. Okay, one option is there, git, which is default, right? But we found an error for Maven. So what you need to do, Maven installation, right? So I click on this, and here I can use add Maven, and inside that it gives me the error name, Maven, right? And Maven 3.9.9. so let's stick with this Maven 3.9.9. okay, and I copy this name. I'm completely fine instead of using just Maven, or let's say just give it name like this. Okay, but I want to show you something else, so I'm using this, but there is no harm. You will get why I'm doing this in a bit. So Maven 3.9.9, and I simply save. So here I'm using 3.9.8. okay, now I will rerun the pipeline again. Okay, we are at demo 4, so I will go to demo 4, and here if I replay this again, of course I couldn't. So we have used Maven 3.9.9. okay, whatever what we have made changes in there, and instead of 2 this time, yeah, of course previous job, I will remove this and paste over here, and I'm using this one which we had configured in this tools section, right? Where is this? Maven, and we have installed this one, Maven and 3.9.9. So let's see and run this, and let's see what happened this time. Right, so our pipeline didn't give or throw any of the error, right? It simply got executed, and you can see this. And but if you see, it just got executed and it didn't do anything. So what happened, for example, I want to use this Maven version in one of my building, right? So what I can do, simple, I can execute a command, shell command, okay, because it's a Maven, okay, we want to execute. So I want to check what is my Maven version, okay. So for this, I just write this statement, and this one is as is tools statement. Now I copy entire thing and go to my replay, remove this. Okay, so what I have done in this, simply put this value Maven 3.9.9, and here I said Maven version 1. Okay, and let's run this first, then we will do more amazing things. And if I go and see, so here I executed Maven, okay, which is in testing, right? Here I defined it in, but I defined in building, so but it was in parallel, right? That's why it's showing over there. Okay, all right, so we can do like this, tool install. So yeah, that's what I was looking for, stages. So yeah, here previously it was installed, right? And in demo number 4, if I go back over here, so here is the tool install, and here is the parallel stage, and we did not define again any of the tools. So that's because we have defined this block, that's why here this additional this stage kind of, okay, it's created. If I click over here, so I have defined the Maven in build stage, right? But basically it's both is gonna execute it parallelly, that's why it's showing like that. So but this is more simple way to see, and it says Maven 3.9.9, right? So this is one of the way to use the tool. Additionally, one more thing, the confusion arises over here, and that is because, let's edit our pipeline, and now what happened, I copy this and put it in deploy. So I'm having both the places, right? So still Maven version is in build stage as well as, or I would say parallel stage as well as deployed. So let me copy this and rerun this again. So not here, here. So I simply copy this, replay, and run. Then I go to stage, all good, parallel. So I have put 2 places. So here I have version MVN 3.9.9, and if I see over here also I have the same version. So it means the tools which I have configured over here, okay, it is in global, right? So it's the scope of tools definition over here is global in all the pipeline. Wherever you execute or you use Maven, so it is going to be used this command, okay. In our case, somewhere, as I said, I don't want to use version 3.9.9, okay. There might be some other use cases for me, my application required something else. So what I can do, I can limit the scope. So one thing, I can remove this and block inside under the specific stage, but instead what I will do, let's define globally as well as we define local as well. So to define the particular inside the stage, so what I will do right after this stage, in this way I will put like this. So inside my deploy stage, I have put the block is like this. And additionally, one more thing I would like to mention over here. So we got the error because I have configured name as a DSOC3. So it is really not necessary you need to use the same name. Okay. Of course, here we think whatever name is suggested we have to use as this, but we can use anything, and that's why I have put this name over here, okay, which is already predefined. And in this we have version 2.2.1, which is not 3. So instead of using this, okay, so why I'm showing you, because sometimes we feel okay, whatever it's showing over there, it should be like this. So it's not like that. It's just a tool name you are referring, and which is already configured over here. Okay, so so specifically this version you are referring by this name. Okay, so that's what we have done. And now let's see what happened with the deployment stage. So I will rerun this again, and let's see. Now I will, instead of going over there, Maven-V, okay, typo. So here in first, right, in parallel one we have 3.9.9, and here we have version 2.2.1. so this is how you can see here, right? And ignore this warning. So here you can see when you have different version requirement, you can simply define in tools, okay, which is pretty much simple instead of putting a lot of efforts. But you must be installed, click on this, okay, in this case install automatically. Otherwise, if you don't do this, you have to do it manually here on. So like I have done for this, I uncheck this, installed automatically. Okay, so keeping this mind, go ahead with this one, install automatically. That will much more easier. But if you don't have anything or some already defined on your system, so you need to configure the path for that. All right, so this is our tools, which is demo. I already 2-3 demo mix in demo 4, or I would say the topic 4. Next we will see the conditions. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me first take a backup of this. This was our demo 3 or 4. Tools. So this is how we define the tools, and let's see how we can define the conditions. So conditions are very useful when, especially when you need to for example, in pipeline you want to provide some kind of condition. Okay, if branch is you could say like this, if branch is main branch or production branch, then deploy it, otherwise don't deploy it, right? Similarly in case of test, right, so you maybe want to configure, or you don't want to configure run, I mean you don't want to run test or execute test cases for each and every branch, right? So like instead of committing over there, we are just replaying the existing build, right? So similarly, there are the use cases where you came across, you don't really need to execute test cases. So in that kind of scenario, you need, I mean, it is not limited. There are so many other stuff as well. There are so many other possibilities as well. You can do this way. So let's first see how. So you will get understanding how you use the conditions. Okay. So for this, what I can do in simple, let's first see for the deployment. Okay. So here I can say, let me remove this first, tools. and we are good with our global one. Okay, and I also don't need this over here, so I'm gonna remove this. And here what I can do, simple. So for condition you can simply define using the when. Okay, so what simply you can say when here. Okay, and this is our block. So again it's a when block, so I will do the same when block, sorry, block. Right, so in when block what I can define, I can say okay, when branch branch so I can say when branch, branch branch. Okay, so branch is main, so execute this step. Okay, this can be more complex, but let's start with very simple thing. So I simply put when, and the branch name is main. So I want to deploy only when the branch is main. Okay, for rest of the branch I'm not interested, or I don't want to deploy my code into the production. So I only make a changes over here. I put just when block, I just put 3 lines when branch equals to main. So let me copy this, and this is okay, let's do one thing, give it a demo number 5. We don't need to do further configuration, right? So if I type demo, so we know demo 4, and I will copy from over here, and this is our demo number 5, and we are done with this. Apply, save, and build. Meanwhile, when we come back, we get our code ready. Okay, so this is also done. Let me go back over here, and demo 5. Okay, what we will do in demo 5, click replay, same thing, and I provided this. So now here what I have defined in deploy stage. Okay, when branch is main, then don't do the deployment, and let's see what happens. So you can see stage deploy skipped due to when condition. Okay, or if you want to see more visual way, so click on pipeline overview, and you can see checkout tool install parallel stage and deployed has skipped. And always you could see the post block, right, which is always going to be happening. So this is how when condition happen, right? So but our branch is test, is the same test one. So let's see what happened when we give it a name test one instead of main. So when branch is test one, and let's run what happened. So it should now execute the build step. So what I'm gonna do, I'll click on this, go to pipeline overview, and but again instead of giving the same name, my god, it has skipped this. So let's see what happened over here. I'll click on this and deploy. Interesting. Let me go classic way. So test is also not working, right? So what is the issue? So let's see what is just happening. Let me go back over here and post git, not this one, in parallel. Okay, not this one, not this one. So first of all, let's see which branch it has checked out. So okay, for that, okay, so now it's time to troubleshoot. And how we can do the troubleshoot? So we know we have a Jenkins variable, so simply we can do one thing. Anyways, because of this test one, right, it is gonna be skip, so we can simply run over here, and what we can do, we can simply echo the environment variable. Okay, and for that, how we can see, we already saw this, how we can execute or how we can use the inbuilt or available environment variable. So I will say git underscore branch. Okay, and let me copy this as is. So I already removed this before, dollar like this, git underscore branch. So let's first see what branch we have, right? What Jenkins is understanding the branch means. Then we will do the further troubleshooting. Run this, and if I go, so stage this one, and I put it in, I guess, build parallel. Let's quickly check it. Okay, so let's come over here, and here you can see it says git branch. It's origin test. It is not test one. So I can simply replace the name like this. Okay, that's how we troubleshoot and we find the things. Okay, so instead of branch, what I can do over here, I can simply put over here, the branch name. Okay, and the branch name would be like this. So branch name origin test, right? So it should work now, right? Because this is the branch Jenkins is using. So I go ahead, then replay, and then run. And what happened? Let's go ahead and see the pipeline overview, and still deploy is skipped, right? So what's the problem? Let's see our code over here. So when you see, this is not just a branch, right? So for men it worked, but this one it doesn't work. There are other ways as well, so we will also see that, but one of the way for this, let me put it like this. So inside when, what you have to do, you have to use expression. Okay, so in expression block you have to return, again it's a groovy, that's why I told you it's fine, but no need to be worried about, or whenever it's needed I'm gonna tell you. So we are returning the environment variable, okay, like this. So here it's a git underscore branch and equals to, sorry, not minus equals to this one. Okay, so we are putting the same value but in different way. Okay, because we are using the environment variable, we cannot directly put like this. Okay, so this is the way you can use it. Okay, and let's see now what Jenkins says about our hard work. And boom, deployment is done, and it says yes, yeah, whatever, but this works. So what works when you are using environment variable? So you need to use like this. So you need to use like this. Okay, so this is about the your when condition. It can be more complex. Okay, in when you can say, okay, when you have branch this one, or when you have another variable, you can also say, okay, environment equals to, let's say, prod or stage or whatever, and based on this, or maybe you can define the logical operator kind of and, right, and you can use this when condition. Okay, whatever logic you want to write. So okay, so simple way it's to using the when like this. Okay, and this is done. Now we will see the parameterized block in this. Okay, so because what happened here, we have provided the value. So isn't it amazing? Instead of hard coding the value, we can define, or we can take an input from the user, or because it's, if it is in under testing, so user can say, okay, not test branch, instead of test one, it should be main branch or something like that. Okay, so that's where our parameters block comes into the play, and those are similar, or they are also called as parameterized build. Let's see in action what is this. Okay, so for that, what I will do, so very simple, I will, okay, let me get rid of this one, but first I will copy and take a backup of this one. This was our, what's the name? Okay, demo 5. Fine. Now we are gonna see the parameterized build. So why not, let's create another job which is very easy to do now. So I would say demo number 6. I select pipeline and let's say, okay, demo number, copy from demo number 5. That's fine, and we know we have to first build it, and after that we will copy our get edited code over here. So for parameter, let me remove this first. We don't need stretch. Okay, and we don't need this as well. For the time being, it's okay. We can remove this one. We can also, okay, let's leave this as is, and this is also fine. And now what we need to do, so we need to perform, or let's say like this. So for that we need parameters. Okay, parameters block, I would say. Right, so for that, simple, now you already guessed it, what we have to do, we have to define a one block which is parameters, but not with the p. So I will make it small p, then I will type like this, and inside this parameter block I have to define the parameters. Okay, and this parameters, this can be string, that this can be boolean, this can be the choice based. Okay, so let's first see the string. In this string, what happened, because our use case is to provide a branch name, or take a branch name instead of we hard coding the branch name, right? So here our, so this is specifically the more the parameterized build, or it's to just take an input from the user, so you do not need to hard code the value. So for that I will say branch, and I have to branch. Okay, then I need to provide a default value, sorry, not like this, fault default value. This is again a GUI thing. I said main is the default branch, but yes, you can provide anything, whatever you want. Okay, and then we have option description, and in description you can say, okay, branch to deploy, and we are done with this. Okay, and we already closed this, but we got some error. It means we have made some mistake, so we need to figure out what. So yes, I miss this over here, and now you can see they are happy in their happy colors. Okay, I can show you again. They are not happy at all. Now make them happy like this. Okay, so parameters, string name, branch, default value is like this, and oh god, again B and B both are adjacent keys, so instead of B I type this one. So I will copy, and yeah, let me rebuild this again. Do like this and run, and now see what happens. Okay, this is executed, and here deploying stage DSOC3. Why this happened? We have provided the default value main, right? And here already branch is defined, origin test. Let's see one by one what happened. So our branch is this one, right? And we set the default branch. But if you see over here, we have an option build with parameters. So now what happened, instead of main, I will say test and I will run it again and we will see what happened. So now what happened, we don't see any of the value at all. Okay, so now what we will do, instead of editing this again, because what happened when we go to the configuration, so one moment, let me rerun this job again so you will get idea what I'm talking about. And instead of this, okay, let's leave this as is. Okay, so now when I refresh this, so you can see there is an option build with parameters. But in here, if I say branch main, and all these things happen automatically based on the our pipeline configuration. Okay, so if I build this, okay, build with parameters, and if I say origin, but if you see, let's still keep it main. And if we see in stages, so you can see only checkout stage and build stage is there, right? Because it is trying to get the configuration and which is not available in the, so for replay what need to do, so it's a time we have to put at least once our code in here, and after that we can replay it again. So same code I'm just doing copy from here, and I will replace this entire pipeline. Let me edit this, it is not doing anything. And yeah, and what I will do, I will commit, okay, and I would say update parameters, okay, and commit. Now we are good. We go back and refresh this again, and this time again it's not there, but yeah, build 6 is there, if you can see. So we have all these stages, okay, but before it was not showing like this. Now we have option build with parameters, and if I build with the main, it must keep the deployment state, so it will again have to take some time. Yeah, you can see. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this again, build with parameters, and this time, but still first check whether it is going to, or whether it is skipping the deployment or not. So let's go to stage, and again, wow. So reason behind this, let me show you the reason. When we use this we have used the git, so we use the environment variable, right? Similarly, when you do the parameters, okay, when you take parameter from the user, then you need to change something. And what something? So you cannot use return, I mean this expression in this way. You have to use the return, but in different way. Okay, so we will say return, and what we are going to return, we have to return this name because we have given this name. Okay, so we are taking user input in this branch. Okay, and to call that, you need to use params, params, okay, or params, or however you call it, dot branch, and then here you could say test. Okay, so this logic says when input is test, then execute the deployment branch. Okay, otherwise don't do it at all, right? So let's just copy this and execute this again, and this time I hope it will allow us to do. And let's see the stage, and now boom, now it's showing the skip in stage number 9. But I will build it again, and here I would say test. Let's see what happened in this step. Okay, and you could see, and we can also make change over here. Simple. So just to remember what we have done, so I just copy and paste this branch so I can run this smoothly and as many times as I want. Remove this, or maybe instead of just do it like this, and in branch test. Okay, so update it once, test branch, or not test branch, variable. Okay, so we can refer this letter if we want to, and this time I really don't need to do anything. In main it should skip this. Let's go over here. This is our demo number 6, and then stages deploy. Fine. Now I run it again with the test branch, and let's see what happens. If I go here, so you could see, okay, reload with reduce protection, you can see deployment has been done, and I'm at demo 6 and stage number 12. Similarly, I'm at here and demo 6 stage number 12. Okay, so this is how you call the environment variable. Okay, this is one of the way. Additionally, you can also make it more complex. Let's say these are the parameters. You can also define like this name. These are just another way to, you can read it more better. So this one string where I'm asking for the, or I'm saying for the, my, I would say, let's give it a name, branch. Okay, branch input, or input, right? Oops. And here next I can say choice, or sorry, string. It's better. And now we can also have choice. Okay, choice params. And for this, what I can do, instead of a string, I'm gonna use choice, choice. So I won't make any mistake. And let's put it like this. So inside choice, I have to first define a name. I'll do like this name, and here I would say environment. Okay, and so this environment is not environment variable. This is a environment where we are going to deploy our application. So it could be a dev environment, it could be a test environment, it could be a stage environment, it could be a prod environment, whatever. And now I'm gonna give it choices. Okay, remember it's a choices. Okay, and it use kind of this bracket, and in technical term you call this as a array. Okay, so dev, it could be test, it could be stage. Let's give it a name like stage. And yes, we don't want Jenkins to be slappers, so here is this one. Then I could say prod. Okay, got like this. And finally we have to give some description. Okay, and for that I simply can like this. Okay, so I copy description from over here instead of again typing it, and I must have to put the comma. I must have to put this, otherwise it will throw us error. Okay, and here we can say select the environment as ELECT, select. Why not just copy this? It will not look good, but anyways, environment to deploy. Okay, so now we have given two. So here this one is a string. Here the user has to define the branch, and here we have given a choice where which environment we want to deploy. And now we are going to use for the deployment. So this time I'm gonna put some logic in this, right? And we can say, okay, when you have a branch, so let's say test branch, not the main branch, then it's okay, fine. And what we can or we want to do, and additionally I also want it to be let's say params. I can select, oh god, not with the p but dash environment. I can simply copy this like I did this before, and it should be equals to, let's first say stage. Okay, we want to deploy into the stage, right? So I can do like this, and I hope this should work. So let's see. So let me go back over here, and I can remove this, and that's my choice. In this I will commit update forms with choice. So you can let us see the commits and see what happened over here. Now I will build with the parameters, and yes, it's not showing. So first it has to run, and now you can see the configuration has changed. Okay, I should have been shown this before, but yeah, when you do it, so if remove this and try to do it again. Okay, this is the parameters. Now if I build, so you can see here I have given a choice. Okay, before was nothing. Okay, so now we have choice stage, prod, test, dev, and main. So in our logic we have said, or we ask, okay, when the branch is test, and so and it means both condition must be satisfied. Okay, so another environment is the stage. So when we have both these two conditions satisfied, then it is gonna be deployed. So let me say test, and here I will say the prod, and let's build it to see what. When we see stages, you could see it's skipped, right? And I do not need to click on this and show you the logs because of the condition. It has been, I mean, the conditions was not satisfied. So this time I will do again the branch name test, which we have written over here, or which we have mentioned or defined in this test, right? And we will select this time staging. So we want to deploy this into stage environment. Okay, yeah, let's build it, and this time our deployment stage is going to execute, and it has executed successfully. So depending on parameters, okay, choice of this, so these stages are, I would say, these conditions are going to met, then this is going to be happen, right? So this is your parameterized build, and these are very helpful. So I would say this is enough on this, and so I have total shown you demo 1 to 6, right? We have talked about single stage pipeline, multi-stage pipeline, right? Then we also see how declarative versus then we talk about environment variable. We also seen how we can execute a parallel the stages all together, right? And we also see how we can use the tools, how we also saw how we can use the conditions when block, right? And also the parameterized way, which is in over here, right? We can also say here, so I use and we can also use another condition or, like this. So this symbol says or condition. Okay, so when you have a stage or prod environment, then it is gonna be deployed. Okay, so we will go ahead and do this as well. So but for this part one, I believe I have shown you enough, or I would say the more than enough things which you could or you should know to start it, or not only start it with the writing your own Jenkins file, but to read the code on how to use this Jenkins files. Okay, so in this basic part it is enough. Let's see what do we have. So we have understand what is CI/CD pipeline, scripted versus declarative. I've shown you how we write a Jenkins file, what is its structure, parallel stages, environment, tools, conditional, parameterized with user input. We didn't see, but we are going to see in next one. Okay, and that is our next topic. Okay, so we have covered this, and now we are going to deep dive, right? So in that we will be seeing when you have multiple environment, multiple branch, then how it is going to be work. Again, it's a completely hands-on. So let's hop back to the Jenkins controller and start building the advanced pipeline, which is really you are gonna use in the production one. So we will see all the advanced things in this one, and we will deploy our sample web app using this advanced techniques. And in this, we are not going to just create a pipeline, we are going to create multi-branch pipeline. All right, so let's go ahead and create a multi-branch pipeline. So for that, I will go on dashboard, and in this I want to show you one more thing. Like here there is a different option. This is folder and it says do not touch. So I would like to show you one amazing thing. So when I click on this, so I give it let's say deep dive. This is the name, and instead of clicking on pipeline, even on anything, I will create a folder. Okay, so deep dive, and I select, so I provided this name and I have selected the folder option. Okay, and then I'll click OK and just leave it as a save. So now if I go to dashboard, you can see I also have kind of one folder. So this option is very helpful when you are working with many teams, okay, and many projects. So you can whether create this folder based on the teams, based on the project. So in this way you can use the folder option. So let me go over here and I click on this. So I'm gonna say okay, let's give it the same name as our application. So DSOC web app. Let me copy this and over here I have given, and this time instead of selecting the pipeline, I will select the multi-branch pipeline. So what is the difference in pipeline and multi-branch pipeline here? So I mean, of course you could read what information is available over here. So it says create a set of pipeline projects according to detected branch in SCM repository. So I would say the multi-branch pipeline. So let's first create this and we will talk about this. Okay, and here everything is fine. So let me leave everything as a default. Will come on that later. So let me see. So what happened here? I have to create a several pipelines, right? So each like demo 1, demo 2, demo 3, demo 4, 5, and when you start you're working on so many projects, then it's, I would say, wasting a lot of time to creating the pipeline. Of course you could do it, and if you have use case, but when you are working on a project where many people are working at the very same time, in that case you need something where you can rely on. So basically this multi-branch pipeline which we have created, it has different symbol than this one, right? These are simple like this, and here we have this symbol. Okay, multi-branch pipeline, it says like this. And what happened in this? So let's click on this and you could see there is nothing happen at all. So let's see why. So if I go to configuration, right? So before I go ahead and show you more stuff, so let's first understand what happened over here, right? So you could see when I click on branches, right? So in this, let me zoom here. So in general portion, branches source, build configuration. So first time in okay, let's see the build configuration. So build configuration is by Jenkinsfile. This is the only option available in multi-branch. So of course, this is what, and here it's a Jenkins files. We already saw this, and here is the branch source. So I was talking about this when I click. So here I didn't provide any one. So here it's a single branch, a single repository in branch. Instead, I would say the git, and I will copy paste this since it's a public repository, no problem at all. I will say provide this. I don't need to provide credentials, and discovery branch, and here you could see discovery branch, nothing is there. If you want, you can add something, but I don't want to see, I mean, I don't want to make any changes. So let's leave everything as default and save, and let's see what happens. As soon as I have saved, so you can see it has started to looking into, right? And if I see on this side, logs scan multi-branch. So before that, let's go ahead and see what happened over here. So when I click on this, so you could see there is one pipeline has been created automatically. Okay, and before go ahead and let's see what happened in the logs. So here is the same. What is different? So you can see checking branches, right? So as soon as you create or you save, you make any changes, it will start looking into for the Jenkins file. So checking branch test one, Jenkins file, found, met criteria, schedule build, Jenkins. So check branch main, Jenkins not found, Jenkins file is not found, right? So if we see, and I selected the main, so there is no Jenkins file over here, but if I select branch t1, test one, and we have the Jenkins file, right? And based on that, it has automatically discovered initially the Jenkins file. So it scans the entire repository and for the Jenkins file. So we have two branches, right? And in one of the branch, so we have the Jenkins file found. So based on that, the branch is test one, right? So that's why it is over here. And process branch 2, you can also read this from over here as well. Okay, finish branch indexing. So whenever you make any changes, it is going to connect with your repository and start making the scanning for that. Okay, let me do it once again. Manual scan. If I have to do manual scan, I will click on this and I could see in this. Okay, let's click. So you could see nothing happened because there was no changes or nothing updated in the repository. So even if I click it again, nothing happened. Okay, so logs, and we can also check this in the logs. So that is gonna be same, no changes at all. So that's it about the multi-branch pipeline scanning part. Let's come over here and let's see what happened in this. So very simple. We can go over here, and that's what we saw the code or the pipeline code which we already written this. So it's first time it's automatically get executed. Okay, so very careful with this. Now what happened, I will create more branches out of it. So let me do and show you quickly. I'll create one branch. Sorry. Yeah, we go. Let's say dev, create branch dev. Okay, which is done. Then dev test and stage, create it, and stage from dev. So let's first see. Okay, we do not have any Jenkins file over here. So let me do one thing, switch the branch first, or that's okay. No worries. So stage. So let's create stage. Create one more branch. Let's say prod, which is all over here. Prod from stage. I believe it's done. And if we come back over here in this, so you can see there is nothing happen actually. Even if I say scan, so it will perform the scan manual. But yes, so now there are some changes happening, that's why it has triggered. And if I go in the log, so here in this section you can read checking branches, checking branch prod, Jenkins file not found. Okay, here test branch we have Jenkins file, and in main branch Jenkins file not found, Jenkins file not found in this stage, even in the dev. So let's do one thing. And what happened over here if I come? So I have only Jenkins file in test branch, right? So let me do quickly one thing. Let me create a new file in here, Jenkins file, like commit. So created Jenkins file in branch prod. In stage, if we go and I create one more file, again Jenkins file, but this time branch is different. I will also do commit, and so we already created in stage Jenkins file in dev. Yeah, so in development or in dev branch we do not have Jenkins file. So in or even in main is also not. Yeah, in main is not. So let's do one thing. In this also we create one file. Let's see what happens then. So now we have created this many, but still this scanning is not happening. Okay, because at the moment this happened in real life via webhooks, but the Jenkins, my Jenkins controller is installed on local machine, so it's not going over there. But there are some configuration where we can say we can define when it can be, but at the moment I'm fine with this scanning multi-branch pipeline. So now we have created the files, and if I say scan multi-branch pipeline, then let's see. You could see over here, and when I refresh this page, so you could see it has found the Jenkins file in all this stage prod dev, not the main. We do not have Jenkins file in the main branch. Okay, so what happened actually when we create this multi-branch pipeline? So Jenkins automatically scan the entire repository, and for the and each and every branch of the repository, and based on that it identified, or where it finds the Jenkins file, based on that it creates a job. Okay, so these are actually the jobs. So as many as you have Jenkins file in each and every branch, corresponding there is, or there will be a job created over here by the Jenkins itself. So that this is the one of the very good feature of the Jenkins I like a lot, because this is very helpful when you're working in real life, in real environment, where for example I use this in my project where I have to create environment for each and every developer when they create or they start working on the project. Okay, so let's say they create a branch feature one, so corresponding you can create one entire environment for that. Okay, so you can simply, they check out, you can keep your Jenkins file in a let's say the dev branch, and when they check out it, or maybe DevOps branch, they can check out from the code, and they can also have the Jenkins file, and job will be created automatically. And let's say 15,000 people are working on one project and everybody is doing the checkout, right? So that is also option where you can limit this, but this is helpful in one of them. So let's click on this and see, or I would say let's see the logs of this. So we already discussed about this, right? Let me go to the tab and stage view. So yes, of course, this already we saw this pipeline is empty, there is nothing in there. If I go over here, so it's also the same, right? And if I go on stage, so yeah, this is also the same. And yes, test will be different for sure, right? So now it's time to update our pipeline, right? So let's do it and let's see what we can do over here. And so I simply continue with this one. So pipeline overview. I'm sorry, not overview. Let me replay this. So branch is main, but I want to do it with the test. And here we have set the environment stage and branches test. So do we have branch test? Yes, we do have branch test 1. So let me do it again. Here we SOC 3 web app, and here we say test 1. Okay, fine. So here what I will do, say okay, noise. So default, just for testing, I can make it test 1. But let me check once. This, not this one. Logs. Okay, it found the test 1 branch, not the test branch. So okay, let's go ahead and fine. So what I'm gonna do in test 1, let me replay. So I will say default branch is test 1. Okay, and choices, it's okay. Instead of there, here I can say or, let's say there. Okay, and here branch would be test 1. So let's first see what happened. So still the same. So what we are going to do now, let me first create, or maybe let's go ahead and test with another one, because I wanted to show you something else. Let's go ahead and test this one, and I'm gonna say replay, and in replay we do not have anything. So make some changes in this. So instead of parameter, let's make it disable for a moment. Okay, and this is what I'm gonna do. This is the comments for multi, and you have multi lines to be comment out. You can use this asterisk and then the hash. So I did the same, right? And my pipeline block is as is. And okay, I also don't want this parallel block, so let me get rid of it. Stages, stage build. Okay, here also, that's why I commented. It's very helpful. We can simply remove this, and we can also, not from here, disable the when, like this, and over here. So step 1, test run, file echo output. So let's see. Okay, it worked. So let's see. So we have build, test, deploy, and post action. This is working completely fine. Now what I want to show you in this, so let's say here the stage build. So we know for a stage build we have command sh and maven. I could say maven yeah, so let's say maven package, right? Or for simplicity, we know when we run this command, it automatically performs the testing. So but It's okay, let's do it like this. And here I don't need this, so maybe let's say build and test together. That's okay. So not this one, yeah, Maven package, and then we will go deployment letter. Let's first run this and see the stages. Okay, it's building something, but it's building. Okay, and you can see it is, the tests are already there, right? So yep, it has done this. So we know what it has done in this stage. We already spoke in our Jenkins part 1, but let me quickly show you here. sh ls-lrt, or maybe I could type command tree in sh. Let me copy this so you know what is being, what is there. So in this, okay, the stage is built and we are interested in this, right? So here is our Jenkins file, right? And here it performs some other things, and it has, so this Maven package commands, basically we are interested, it has created this one, DSOC3 web bar. Okay, web.bar, that is we are interested in. Now if I want, I can say okay, let's say, but basically it perform the same if you have test. So right after that you can also perform kind of testing over here, right? So it says okay, performing testing. So maybe I could say like this in, so we already have in this year. So let me remove this stage test. So if you have test cases, you can run in test, but it's fine if you don't remove this as well. But I would like to show you one more thing over here. Instead of going in this way, when you have multiple SSH or shell command you need to execute, you can simply do in this way instead of typing it again and again like this, or 1 2 3 and then 1 2 3, right? And here I can simply execute this command here, and this tree, or not tree, let's go ahead and see what do we have in here. And let me remove this, and then we will see how we can deploy. When packaging is happening, and now the target file is created and our job gets successfully executed, which is in test branch 1. You can see the stages, and you could see still the deployment has skipped. So why it has like this? Let me see. Oh, sorry, we are not at we were not on this branch, we were at dev branch 1, and I click on this stages. So yes, we are done, right? So build test, and if I click on this, so here we could see this all Maven test and everything is been done, and this is the over here, right? So if I come and see the stages, so the stage deployment has been done. So now it's time to put some steps, right, to deploy our application. So for that, what we can do over here, we're not removing this block because we are going to use it. So here let's say stage 1 2 3 dash, not dash. Here I can simply say sudo Okay, sudo, and we want to do cp target, and then what it was created here in build, not build, I believe. Yeah, by 3 4, I believe we will get it here somewhere, or 5. Okay, so we this file, so target, and where we have to copy where our Tomcat server, right? So which is in var lib, then dash Tomcat trend, and inside that web apps and and again the file name like this. Okay, so I simply in deployment the build the war file which is created, I just copy it and I'm gonna just put it in here. So I will rerun the job again, and let's see this time. Okay, it is doing the packaging, and it says, yeah, so sudo terminal is required to read the password. Yes, this is the problem, right? So in this rather we are gonna do one thing. We don't want to run it on Jenkins, right? So it says somewhere it is run, I think run on, yeah, running on Jenkins controller. We don't want that. So now it's time to go ahead and see one more thing. So instead of agent any, I have a option, right? And what option do I have over here? I have, or I can define an agent, and to define the agent I have option like this. This time, right, I will use a label. So let me do like this. Over here I would say label, and label is agent 1. And how I know this? So if I go over here, manage Jenkins and nodes, so my agent 1 is already configured and its label is here. Okay, when you see the configuration which we talk in our part 3 of day 4 of the Jenkins in very detail. So let's go back and again, okay, day number 6. So okay, my label is ready. I will copy this, and this time not this one, I have to replay this. So I rerun it again, and let's see what happened. And this time nothing happened actually. So it says agent, and only one agent is allowed per agent. So what I have done, let me see. Sorry, I do not like to do like this, otherwise it's considered something else. That's bad. So not 7, this time we will go by the 6. This, grab this now, and let's see what happens. So again it's the same. Oh god, level. So I think now I'm really tired, it's very long session. So, but yeah, we are on that. We run it again, build number 6. Oh, 5 was there, so it should run this time. So, but we are lucky, we got troubleshooting things, and now it's checking SCM, performing build. Okay, so it is done in build. Let's see what happened. It is done, and test is also branch dev, and here we can see it is performed successfully this one. Okay, but here the important thing, if we see, so I think run. Okay, so running on agent, you could see over here. Okay, running on agent 1 dsoc3.local. Okay, it is not running on Jenkins. Before we were able to see this, so running on over here, you could see, and it has slash home workspace deep dive and all this, everything, right? So here is my Tomcat server. Okay, so what I need to do, the war app or the war file, right? The .war file which we are creating or which we have created, simply, that's why I like another view more better. Deploy, and yeah, so simply in this case, whatever my war file name is there, so I have to access. So by default Tomcat port is also 8080, but I have made changes. We talk about this in previous section, day 4, right? How we can make changes of it. Now my application is ready. Click on this, it says welcome to DevSecOps club, right? And we are done. So now this code is working, that's completely fine. Now it's time to make this more dynamic, right? Instead of creating by branch only one. So let me remove the parameter. So I have small so you could see properly. So I have again enabled the parameters. I have dev environment, test environment, stage environment, and prod environment. And I've selected the level 1. Here I'm building, and of course it's demonstrated. We do not have any test cases. We are already performing in this. Okay, but if we have, we can put it over here. And now here we are doing the deployment of the application, but I will also allow when this should go to the deployment. So instead of, I could say the return branch name is like this. Okay, so I have test branch, so instead I would say, okay, let's go ahead with the test branch, why not? And here I say stage, or so for that what I can do, I can define multiple conditioning over here. So for that I can simply say like this, forums dot environment equals to stage, or it could be this. Then I can close this, so these are happy. So it's stage or prod. Okay, so we are allowing the deployment only for when we have test as a branch, or let's say we also have branch as a prod. So we want to deploy only when we have code changes in prod branch, or let's keep it like this. Okay, return dot branch is prod, right? And or this is the or operator, logical or. Here I have closed and I say branch stage, stage or prod. Okay, when we have either branch select stage or when we select branch prod, and we have the environment stage or production, let's keep it like this so you will not get confused with the branch name. So staging, let me change it as well, staging, and then I have to make changes over here as well. This is production, this is staging. Sorry. And of course there are other choices as well. So I believe now pipeline is ready, and we copy this and put it in our test branch. Let's say staging branch first. So I'm gonna edit this, right? And so let's keep it like this. and put, and we will see whatever error we will see. So of course we have made some changes, but it is not gonna scan itself. So I have two options. I can say scan multi-branch pipeline, not this one now. So you can see scan multi-branch pipeline, it has started, and we have made changes in branch, check it, stage. Okay, so I will go in this, and here, so right now it's building, it's fine. Okay, and you could see skip due to when condition, right? So that's okay. But in order to execute, I click on this build parameters, build with the parameters, and what logic we have written over here. So when we have branch stage and environment is a staging of production, right, then it is gonna be execute. So let me first check with this one what is happening. So of course it is gonna be a skip a deployment, right? Again, I'll go back, sorry, not dev, the prod, and this time I will build it again. Sorry, not the prod one, I'm really sorry. So let's go to stage, build with the parameters, and this time I'll select the branch stage, and environment is also a stage. That's what our logic says. Stage is the branch and staging is the environment, right? So let's build. So here environment is staging environment, we are deploying it, and let's see what happens. So yes, this time our pipeline is showing its magic. Okay, and when I go like this, so you could see before it skipped and now it's deployed, and so this is the way. Let me edit this and make some changes over here, or not the staging. So now we are happy. Okay, let's deploy our application to the production environment. All right, so let's go ahead and do the deployment for our production one. Right? So let me go ahead. At the moment it didn't, I mean, scanning of pipeline, it's not triggered, so we could have option, either we can scan, but before scan I would like to show you something else. You can also click on stages, build with the parameters, and here you could say stage. That's what we did last time. Okay. And of course it is gonna be the same, there is no changes in this, right? So it's done. And now if I go and I say scan multi-branch pipeline, so let's see what happened. So in this you could see in the quiet period expires in 1.4, so it has triggered and the stage. So what happened, I made some changes in production environment, not environment, the branch, right? And that's why it has get triggered. And if I click on this, nothing happened actually. So why nothing happened, we know, because in this Jenkins file of prod there is nothing, right? So that's why it cannot be deployed. But still, whatever changes we have made in the production branch, we can deploy this still. So we know our staging. In staging we have this option, so build with the parameters. This time I will select the branch production or prod, and this is also one the staging environment. So what I have selected, I've selected prod and production, and let's click on the build, and now see what happened. So stage and everything is done successfully. Okay, so we can click on this, we can see what happened. So it run on agent 1 tsoc3.local, build is performed, test is okay, deployment is okay, we move this file, abstraction is fine, right? So still we pulled the code from the production branch and deployed it with the another pipeline. So this is how parameterized builds are very great, right? That's how you could do it. And if I go ahead and refresh it, so I think, okay, welcome to DSOC, and I think I need to add one more step. Let me see, replay. And here I can say sudo stream ctl ctl restart. Okay, 10. And let's see now what happened. But again, this is gonna be parameterized, so instead I will do one thing. Let me go ahead and look here in my stage, copy the Jenkins file raw, and I go back to prod. Here I don't have anything. Let me edit this and put it over here. Changes, updated. Okay, and of course it is not gonna happen. We will be seeing the same thing here. So this time let's run it from the but we forgot to mention one thing over here, but still let's first run this, then we will update it over here. So in prod I'm gonna say build now. So first time it won't give us anything, and when we refresh, so now we have option build with the parameter. But let's still see what happened over here. It's performed. So, and deployment is a script because of the branch, so it's a parameterized. Now we have to click on build parameter, and here I select prod, and here I would select production, and then run the build and go ahead and see this is happening. And yes, deployment is again skipped. Why? What happened? So because I believe we did not have matter changes, or I don't know. Staging production, stage prod. Okay, let's see the logs. Why? So branches prod, it's okay. And in deploy, let me go and see the console log, what it says. That is all. Okay, skip with this condition. Branch views. Okay, prod, but we mentioned prod. Okay, and okay, so environment was not right. Maybe let's rerun this again. I will check it. So branch is prod and environment is production. Let's see what happened. That's fine. So this time again the same here, or I could click stages and I can see, okay, this is deployed. So let me rerun this again. Okay, so this time the message has changed. Welcome to DevSecOps Club. This is the SOC 3 web application. Right, and when I click on this, so it's here. It says welcome to Day-5 CI/CD pipeline final deployment. So this is done, and this is how we do the deployment. And if you want to perform this, so one way I have shared with you, let's go staging like this, and here you can say the branch prod, sorry, stage, and you could see the product staging environment or maybe production environment. Then it is gonna be change this deployment. Okay, once it is done. So this is how we perform the deployment. Okay, so yeah, this message has changed. Now this is simple web application, but from the same branch I can build with again parameters, and you can say prod, and here I can select the production, and when I build, and once this is going to be done, then from this branch as well, I can see. So let's give it some time. Okay, so here the thing is why it is not working, because it's a multi-branch pipeline, right? I mean, not working, it means this time what it is not refreshed, because we executed a pipeline from this staging, and whatever you have in there, like if I go not this one stage, go to console, say git underscore branch, so you can see the branch is a stage. Okay, so whatever code is written in the stage branch, it is gonna be used the same. Okay, and if I go, regardless whatever I provided as an input, but still it's not picking up that. So now if I go to prod and I have made changes, build, and I say prod, it's my branch, and environment is again production, and if I build, so once it is done, then we'll go ahead and see what happened. So now it is done. Let me refresh, and this message should show something else. This message is also shows. So now you could see, oops, again, this is DSOC 3. This is the message, welcome to DevSecOps Club. This is DSOC 3 web application. It says click on me, and here, welcome to Day-5 CI/CD pipeline final demo. So on this Jenkins part and CI/CD part, everything what I have shown you, it's that's it from my side, right? There are some more things can be performed you could do in your pipeline, like trigger automatically with the poll SCM, build periodically, right? And you can also execute this pipeline using pull request, okay, if you want. So when you are doing this, so from my side, I think it's enough. So explore this, okay, and use those options. And if you want me to I mean, once you are done and you realize I didn't, or you are looking for any of the topic regarding Jenkins, let us know. We will make a tutorial on that, the topic. So I think that's it on this demo, and with that said, I would like to wrap up the session. Okay, and let's go back. Yeah, on this advanced topic, this is enough. This is the contact details. If you have any questions, you could contact. If you want to register for further batches, or you have any inquiry for this, you can contact on this, and we would love to see you over social media, whichever you are using. You can go ahead and connect with that. And again, I would like to thank you very much for your love, your support. It really means a lot to us. Thank you very much for that, and big thanks for your attention and time, and see you next week. And in next week we are going to start day 6, which is our containerization, and I think we have been waiting for that moment. But before I wrap up, one last thing. Now you are ready to apply jobs for as a DevOps engineer. I know the containerization, Kubernetes, more other things is not completed yet, but still in this roadmap, the things which we have covered so far, so half of the course is done. And in this, as per my experience, you are ready. Other skills are add-on, you could learn on the go, but now you are ready to apply job as a DevOps engineer. If you have questions regarding this, of course, contact me. I'll definitely connect with you, coordinate with you. If you need a call, yes, we could have the call as well. Okay, so let's see each other next week, and until then, bye bye.